Polipede works here. I think the man marked by flames is one Scopper Gabon of the former pirate crew called the Roger Pirates. Let's get into it. Yes, I think the man marked by flames that is talked about in chapter 1081 is the pirate known as Scopper Gabon, former member of the Roger Pirates. The reason why I think this is because in terms of reading the story from a very narrative sort of sequence and events point of view, in terms of Roger's main cabinet of guys, the three strongest guys that were part of his crew at the time of him being active, it was Silver's Rayleigh, Scopper Gabon, and of course Odin, right? Okay, we've gone over Rayleigh in detail. We've gone over Odin in detail. The only character left is Scopper Gabon. Scopper Gabon also appears quite frequently in Odin's flashback, which occurred in Wano, which was the end of our last big saga that we just had, right? So, I think to finish things off, if we're truly coming towards the end of the story, or at least going towards the climax of the story, that Scopper Gabon would be the last guy that we have to encounter. Another interesting thing to think about is that in terms of the Roger Pirates and considering how big of a deal the One Piece actually is, it's kind of strange so far that one of Roger's former guys isn't really in charge of guarding one of the keys to One Piece. You ever think about that? That's kind of weird. Silver's had nothing to do with it. Odin's dead, so of course he has nothing to do with it. So that just leaves Scopper Gabon. So it would make sense that one of Roger's former guys is in charge of keeping the keys to the grand treasure of their former captain. Additionally, in terms of the creation of whirlpools and the black ship. Okay, so the whirlpool thing, I have an idea. Do you remember way back in the day when Shanks first met up with Whitebeard and his conquerors was able to crack the wood of Whitebeard's ship, right? That variant of conquerors hasn't really been focused on yet. And if you treat Conquerors like a skill tree in a video game, you treat it like that. We've gone over Conqueror's coding, and we've gone over the Conqueror's variant that just knocks people out. We haven't really gone over the variant of Conquerors that can affect inanimate objects. So, that might be how Scopper Gabon is creating these whirlpools. He's influencing the ocean that's around an opponent's ship. It creates a whirlpool that tears their ship up. I could see that happening because if it's done to that extent, it would seem like someone is using a fruit ability when actually it's just hockey, because that's such a unique usage. It's such an unusual usage that not a lot of people would see that. So they would think, well, no one can be using their hockey for that. It has to be a fruit ability. So that's why I think Lafitte says this in chapter 1081. Another thing when talking about the black ship, this is a tinfoil hat theory, but what if Scopper Gabon is coding his ship in hockey? And I know hockey is usually invisible, but what if his hockey has reached a point to where perhaps it's in the in-between stages of what Mihawk did to create a black blade out of his Yoru? So maybe there is a stage of armament to where it's partially visible, so the black in which that is emitted shows up on inanimate objects. Maybe that's the key, to where your hockey is so strong that you can make something visibly black for a period of time, but then after it's faded, the blackness disappears. Maybe that's the case. Or perhaps this is a combination between Conqueror's hockey and observation hockey, or the use of Scopper Gabon, in which he's influencing the perception of others to perceive his ship as something ghostly or otherworldly, meaning being pitch black, when it's actually not. It's just his manifestation of his ship's perception, or the manifestation of how he wants his ship to be perceived, manifesting in the real world. In terms of the whole marked by flame things in general, what if Scopper Gabon, after his years of retirement, has gone to various fights after trying to reclaim the poneglyph, so that's why he may seem injured or severely burned? And it would make a weird parallel to Sanji, because if we look at things from a sort of comparative perspective, if Rayleigh is Zoro, then Scopper Gabon would have to be Sanji, and Sanji creates flame on his legs. So it'd be funny that the guy of the current candidate to be Pirate King uses flame, where the third guy of the previous Pirate King is now marked by flame. I can see that sort of being the case. However, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like stuff like this, please feel free to check out my YouTube channel, Polipede Works. And if you like what you see, I would appreciate your subscription. Thank you so much. See you next time.